What's up? What's up? I am live. This neck brace is making this kind of hard. I'm trying to look up here at the comments. What's up, Crypto King? I am going to try and make this a full episode, but I don't know. I'm in a little bit of pain right now, so we will see how this goes. I don't have nothing to drink. Damn it. I just ran out of Gatorade. Okay, well, we got one live. We got Crypto King in here. Oh, we got another one that showed up. Let's get some more people in here. How is everybody doing? What's up? What's up, Chef? What are you doing? Everybody hit that like button. You guys hit that like button. You guys know what to do. There's just two of you right now. We're going to wait, see if we get some more people in here. I know the freaking title may be a little controversial. Maybe I'll just get some hate watchers. Is Cardano all hype? Well, we're about to find out. I'll tell you that much. You know, I wonder if I should change these screens because I'm looking up here at the comments. It's kind of fucking hard. My neck is killing me right now. Ooh, I shouldn't be cussing. YouTube don't like that. But is Cardano all hype? I mean, I don't think it is, but the numbers do not reflect what a chain that people are using should. The numbers just don't reflect it. I'm sorry. I was looking through DeFi Llama, looking at DEX volume, looking at TVL, and, you know, then over on Tap Tools, looking at the stable coins. I mean, there is no stable coins. They're not even stable. The ones that are there. How can you use a chain if you don't have stable coins to get in and out of positions? People don't want to do that, you know? So is it just hype, or is it a viable chain? Is it a chain that people are going to use? And I think the proof is in the pudding. And the proof is nobody's using Cardano right now. It is sad. It is true. But that's the way it is. All right. Still just Crypto King and Chef Reckless. Oh, I'll put it out on Twitter. I don't know if let's see here. Okay, so it is popping up. It's not just showing a hyperlink. Good. Let me see here. Well, I am just going to go through the show anyways. We can't just wait for people to come in. You know, on an off topic, Israel and Gaza came to some kind of peace deal, so that's good. The market's not pumping, but that's good. So either way, let's get into it. Let me get a little bit better position here real quick. See if we can. All right. Let's go. Let's just get on with the show. Let's see here. Boom. All right. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the daily. So I put out a post the other day on X, you know, from this account saying, don't be long in the top. And then wouldn't you know it, the very next day, 650 billion in or 650 million in liquidations. And when we go to the chart right here, you can see the daily, you know, the Stokes are rolling over. RSI is rolling over. You know, it looked like we were going to have a good day. Didn't even give us an encompassing candle right here. And when we come down here and we look at the oscillators, you can see we do have a bearish div on the momentum, red dot rolling down. Even the Stokes on this are coming down. RSI is pointed down. Money flow is coming down. VWAP is rounding on the bottom of the daily. So, I mean, that's good. We do have that. And this momentum wave can stay overbought for quite a while. So this doesn't have to come totally down and reset, you know. As this VWAP starts to turn and pop back up, we'll get a green dot. It'll start moving to the upside. You know, actually, we have a double red dot. We got a big red dot up here with this bearish divergence on the momentum. And then when we put that away, you can see everything else. You know, we've gapped the 21. I still expect us to come somewhere down here around 118, maybe 119. So 120 at least, right in this box. You see, we got a lot of price action right here, a lot of wicks and everything like that. So still kind of expecting that, see what's going on with that. But other than that, you know, it was a slightly green day for most crypto. So let's get in and check out an update real quick. Oh, I was looking at SEI earlier because we do have a story about SEI later in the show. But let's get the freshest data from Coinmarketcap. And we are up 1.1%, coming in at $4.316 trillion on the day. Bitcoin's up at 123,188, up 1.4%. Ethereum at 45.19, up 1.4%. BNB taking a breather at 1306, up 0.1. We do have some BNB data also we're going to go over. XRP at 288, up 0.7. We got Solana at 228, up 3.8. We got Doge at 25.51, up 3%. We got Tron at 342, up 1.2, and Cardano still outside the top 10. But technically, in my opinion, it should be in the top 10 because this Lido staked Ether right here. I mean, who cares about that? It's just ETH. You know, it's staked ETH. The price difference isn't any different. It's just how much, you know, is staked on Lido. So I don't know. But Cardano at 83.83, up 2.1%. Let's look at our biggest gainers on the day. And I do believe it is Zcash. Yes, Zcash with a big rebound down the last 2 days, up 38.1%. That is ridiculous. Mantle is up 18.3%. And so over the last 3 days, I've been making videos, and Mantle has been a gainer every day. Look at that, coming in at 43% on the weekly, right? We got WorldCoin up 6.9, Pengu up 6.7, Athena up 5.7. Athena, so some Athena and Jupiter news. So Jupiter is going to be using Athena to make their own stablecoin, Jupe USD, and it's going to be backed by USDTB, which is Athena's treasury bonds. So Athena's kind of like a stablecoin maker. They are, you know, they help make stablecoins. They have their own stablecoin. It's USTB. It's backed by short-term treasury bonds. So Jupiter, watch for Jupiter to come out with its own stablecoin. We got Providence Blockchain Hash up 5.1, Monero up 5.1, Jito up 4.1. Biggest losers on the day are going to be Aster. So Aster coming down off its massive run, coming down 6.5. Plasma XPL is down 3.9. I didn't know what this was. I looked into it a little bit earlier. Damn it. And now I'm having a brain fart on what chain it's on top of. Dang it. I'm having a brain fart. But either way, Plasma down 3.9. Pump.fun down 3. Aptos down 2.7. Pi down 2. Story down 2. And this doesn't surprise me right here with Pump.fun being down with as much traffic and everything we're having on the BSC chain, that Pump.fun would come down. Let me turn this off real quick. There we go. All right. So that's what we got for a little update in the market. Let's take at the pre-market. So get the freshest data. All right. Israel and Hamas agreed to first phase of plan to end fighting and release hostages, Trump says. I do believe he got the message during his Antifa roundtable today. Rubio, you see Rubio come in and pass him a note, and I believe that's when he got the message for this. So, but the Dow is flat, S&P's flat, everything's pretty much flat, even the 10-year, you know, nothing to really write home about. Let's see if Asia's doing anything. Asia's not awake. Australia's awake, up 0.25%. That's about it. So not too much going on in the stock market. We'll see how this ceasefire, if this ceasefire helps, we'll see what's going on with that. Divided Fed officials saw another 2 interest rate cuts by the end of 2025. Minutes show. That's great, right? So, I mean, the the prediction markets are already showing like, what is it, like 80 some percent for a rate cut end of October, and then the other rate cut in December is like 70 or 80%, something like that. Either way, it's very high in the prediction markets. So other than that, let's see where we're at. Get a refresh. We are 59 on the fear and greed. So we have dropped down into the neutral, which is good. We want to see this back off before we get that nice pump. We don't want to be in greed, extreme greed. Remember, green is sell, fear is buy. The colors are a little different, buy the red, sell the green. But in this case, you want to buy the green, sell the red when it comes to the fear and greed index. We do have some max pain prices. Max pain prices, when I was looking through this and I was going through this, they're not as high as I thought they might be. So we got here, this is Friday. So the weekly end on Friday, it's only 117,000 is the max pain, right? And that's on Durbit. When we go to Binance, well, that's okay. See, when we go to Binance right here, it's 118, and it's about 256 million with the max pain of 118. But we come out here to the end of the month, October 31st, it's still only at 120,000. So hopefully these are not accurate, because, it does like to go to the max pain or in the vicinity of the max pain when the options expire. But even if we're in the vicinity of 120, that's not good enough. We need to be up here. We need to be up in the 130s. We want to be in the 130s, maybe even the 140s by the end of October. I don't think we'll be in the 140s by the end of October, but, I'd like to see us have a new all-time high, maybe set a new all-time high in the 130s, and then range, then move into November, get that blow off top. So that's what we're looking at on the max pain. Liquidations, get a refresh real quick. So liquidations on the 24-hour, and it's people shorting that are getting wrecked. So, people are trying to short. That means we got a lot of people shorting. It's pretty even, but the short is winning out. Look at that. 164 million in shorts and 160 in longs. So 74 of that was Bitcoin, 73 of that was ETH. Pretty matched. So the shorts are getting wrecked, but the fact that people are trying to short this market is not helping with everything else. So there we go on that. Now, let's see here. What I was getting a bunch of notifications up over here. Let me take a look. Okay, that is a notification from somebody. That can be taken care of later. So here we go. Let's look at the DEX volume. Everybody, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. All that, the 3 people that are watching right now, and hopefully the people that watch the video later. Doing all this by myself is a little different. This ain't working either. Oops. No, we want that. I need to have this set up a little more. There we go. Oh, and it's right over my face. That's not good. We're going to have to fix that. So hit that like button, subscribe. Anybody that's watching, go back to the comments. But here we are on DeFi Llama, and BSC is just killing it right now. You guys remember, anybody that was here last cycle, BSC was the degen chain. They were the degenerate chain. They were the pump.fun chain. You know, not literally, but that is where everybody was getting rugged. You were either becoming a millionaire or you were losing $1 million. And then Solana came out, you know, with pump.fun and everything like that. And everybody went crazy. And Solana became, you know, the meme chain, the chasing chain, and all that stuff. Well, BSC has decided to take back its crown because for the past 2 days, it has been killing it in 24-hour volume. So BSC 6.067 billion in 24-hour volume, where Solana is only about 5.56. And playing on the note of, you know, is Cardano all hype? Are we stuck in a bubble? I know, you know, a lot of the people that I know in crypto and a lot of people that I talk to, we are all in Cardano. We came up in Cardano. Well, I started in Ethereum, came to Cardano, but it's like, are we just in this bubble where Cardano, we think, you know, Cardano is the end all be all. And unfortunately, the numbers are just not there. Because when we look at this volume, right, you know, we look at BSC at 6 billion, we look at Solana at 5.5 billion. Well, when we go over here and we click on Cardano, DEX volume, not 2.34 billion, 2.34 million. Okay. That's the 24-hour trading volume on Cardano. 2.34 million with an M, you know. And the winner, of course, is MinSwap coming in only at 1.72 million. Look, 7 days. Even when we go to the 30-day, it's still less than $100 million right here. Look, we are still less than $100 million in DEX volume on Cardano. So there's no way, you know, people are not using Cardano. They're just not. You know, it is so far down the list. If we come over here to the list and we go down, so, you know, we got Ethereum base, Arbitrum, SWI, Love SWI, and we keep coming down. You know, where is Cardano? Look, we have to go all the way down to 47. Cardano is 47 when it comes to DEX volume, to volume on the DEX. Look, Plume just barely came out. Plume's only been out, I mean, since this year, I believe. And it has 2.8 million. Stellar, XLM, are you freaking serious? XLM has a higher DEX volume. You know, who's using XLM? And we come up Hemi. I've never even heard of Hemi. You know, Barachain, Gnosis. I thought that was dead. You know, you got Thorchain. When's the last time anybody heard anything about Thorchain? Right? So, and we just go up there, Psy, Katana, you know, look at all these chains. So there's just no DEX volume on Cardano. And it's sad to say that I think it has a lot to do that we don't have any stable coins really on Cardano. You know, there's no serious trader is going to put millions of dollars into something and trade on it if they don't have a stable coin. You know, when we pop over here to this next tab, we'll look at this. So I was just looking at JED, right? Because JED is, well, here we go. So JED is the top stable coin, right? Even right now, the price is 0.993. That's unacceptable, right? We got IUSD is actually at $1. USDM is 0.003. USDA outside of IUSD is the closest, but there's no volume, you know, and these aren't stable. Look, when we click on this, look at that. It ranges. This is the 4-hour. It's the 4-hour chart, right? And when your stable coin ranges, let's see here from the top, over a period of 8 hours, it ranges 1.73%. Who's going to be trading $1 million and lose 1.73%. You know, so you're losing what? What is that? $17,000? No. Yeah, $17,000. Is that right? My math might not be mathing right there. 1 million. Yeah, I was right. $17,000, $17,300. So it just doesn't make no sense. And when you go here to Jed is the largest stable coin. Look at those wicks. Look at that. That's crazy, right? And this is the 4-hour chart. So in the past 16 hours, we had one 4-hour candle that went from boom, boom, had a whipsaw of 7%. That's $70,000 on 1 million. Okay. That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. You're not wrong. It's stable coins, but it's also because everything else can be traded on dexes for each other. Like you can trade any reputable split SOL for ETH and vice versa. Also, every other coin is built on or with ETH tech. And so you can trade anything for ETH or stable coins. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying there. I do understand. Yeah, you can trade anything for anything else, but serious traders, they're not trading between like ADA and ETH. If they're like, if we had like perpetuals, okay, say we have a perpetual app DApp on Cardano, right? Well, you're going to have to either use the asset and trade like an inverse perpetual, trade actual ADA or something like that, because you're not going to trade JED against ADA, and if it's a perp on Cardano, it's going to be using Cardano native coins, right? You know what I mean? So it's like you need a USDC, you need a USDT for any serious trader or any store of value or anything, So it just, how many ADA pairs outside of its own ecosystem kind of deal? How many ADA pairs outside of its own ecosystem kind of deal? Explain that. Right. We have Strike, and Strike is a perp dex, right? Crypto King. But what are you trading? You're not using IUSD. You're not using JED. So you're telling me that you're fluctuating. Your stable coin has to be stable, I guess is my point. And we don't have a true stable coin. Nobody is going to put serious money into JED and watch their, look at this scam wick. What is this? This is back on September 25th. Nobody's going to put serious money in. That's a freaking 12% wick. That's 12%. And a lot can happen in 4 hours. What if you need to deploy that capital in that 4-hour period and all of a sudden you're down 6%? You're like, what the, that's crazy, right? But I don't want to keep harping on that. It's just kind of the point. When I was going through numbers, I just happened to, and I didn't, the stream wasn't even meant. The title kind of came at a last minute, because when I was looking, I was just like researching for the stream, and I was like, man, I bet BSC is still killing it. So I logged on to DeFi Llama, and I'm on here, right? And I'm looking at BSC, seeing where daily volume and everything is. And it was like, you know what? What's Cardano at? And I freaking searched Cardano, and it said 2.34 million. I was like, that's freaking crazy. I didn't realize it was that bad. I thought it was higher than that. You know what I mean? Less than 100 million on a 30-day. So less than 100 million. But so let's go a little further. Now we get into TVL, right? So we're getting into TVL, and obviously, you know, Ethereum is the big boy coming in at 95 billion, Solana at 12 billion. You know, nobody even comes close to Ethereum. So you got Solana, BSC, Bitcoin, and we have to go all the way down to Cardano, which is 340 million. Okay. Is there a way to see how much ADA is hoarded by the sexes? It would probably take me a minute. I would say that Arkham has that data, probably. I would definitely say Arkham, because Arkham is going to have labels and lists of all the wallets and everything like that. So I would definitely think Arkham. Man, I don't even have pen and paper or anything in here. drop that question in Discord, Crypto Jesus, and I will look into that and maybe bring it up on tomorrow's stream. Speaking of streams, is this a good time for everybody? You guys like this? Is this when I should be streaming? 5 p.m. PST? 4 o'clock seemed a little early to me. Granted, the entire country is about to change time zones, and I'm not. So if I go live at 5 now, here next month, it'll be 6 for me, 5 for the East Coast, which is fine. You know, I'm on medical leave. I really got nothing going on. I want to put a bunch of effort into this and see where it'll go. But drop that in the Discord or shoot me a DM, Crypto Jesus, either way, just to remind me. And I'll look into that, and maybe I'll bring up Arkham tomorrow. But yeah, looking at Cardano TVL, so 34 million and 59 protocols. Is it locked? And I mean, I don't understand the exact metrics. Yeah, it's 9:30 p.m. for me, so it's perfect. How the hell is it 9:30, bro? Oh, you mean it's 9:30 right now? Okay. I think that's what you mean. My bad. It's like, how are we off a half hour? But yeah, it's 9:30 right now. Okay. So, you know, and when we're looking at the TVL, and I understand Cardano, they don't take into account people that are staking on Cardano, right? Well, the thing is it's not locked. You know what I mean? You just connect. So there's no benefit. I mean, it does power the ecosystem, and it, you know, helps create epochs and blocks and everything like that. But there's no penalty for moving it. Therefore, it's not locked. And this is total value locked. You know what I mean? Every one of my wallet is staked to something, but I might move, you know, 15, 20 freaking whatever in and out of that wallet constantly, or move it to another wallet or to this wallet. So it's not really locked. It's not, you know, you don't have to go through anything. You don't have to unlock it. You don't have to have a lockup period, anything like that. So, and then when we come over here, I had already had Cardano brought up. Why is that different though? What is this? 170. Oh, okay. What's going on here? So TVL. Okay, total value locked. So why did I have this tab open? This doesn't, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why this tab is open, but either way, that's kind of the point on all this. You know, I guess the title is a little bit of clickbait, but is it really? You know, is Cardano, I mean, don't get me wrong, Charles Hoskinson is freaking awesome. Met him at Rare Evo. The dude is a legend. I love his presence. He is, in my opinion, what a founder should be when it comes to like a crypto project. He's out front. He's going everywhere. He doesn't hide behind anything. He speaks normal, even though the dude is super intelligent. He speaks normal to the common person. Imagine trying to have a conversation with Vitalik. Is that even freaking possible? I mean, my smooth brain ain't going to be able to have a tech conversation with Vitalik. But I believe if I was to talk to Charles, he'd be able to explain it in my terms, right? You know, so don't get me wrong, love Charles, love what Cardano stands for, but we need growth, bro. We need growth. We need a stable coin. We need liquidity. It's just meh. So, all right. So that is it when it comes to all that. This was just about Jed right here. I do, since I'm on here real quick, let's take a look at Crawju real quick. Let's see here. Let's see. Boom. What are we at? We're on the 4 hour. So we are below the 200 MA on the 4 hour. See, I got a little bit of Crawju in this wallet right here. The daily. Looks like the Stokes are still pointed up on the 4 hour. I would really, unfortunately, we got the 21 crossing the 200. I don't like seeing that. We need to get the price action back above the 200. RSI is kind of flat. So let's look at the daily real quick. Whoops. The daily. Looks like the Stokes are bottomed out on the daily. That's looking good, and we're just kind of floating right here. We're not dumping. We're getting a little bit of a movement up, down, little flat. So it's not dumping, which is good. It just needs traction. Do like Crawju. Shout out Daniel. So shout out to Crawju. All right. Unless he's on a ketamine Wolfman binge, right? I would like to go with him on a ketamine Wolfman binge. He made that post the other day. The dude with the gloves on, and he's like, first time, and he's talking about the bullet ants in the gloves. That just seems excruciatingly painful, right? Putting gloves on that are filled with bullet ants. That'd be crazy, right? All right, let's get into some news real quick. This is going on a little bit longer than I thought it was. So, all right, so we are going to start off right here. So I got some bookmarks here. So just in Blackrock and Braven, Howard tokenized funds have launched on SEI network via, I don't even know how to say that, KO's institutional grade RW infrastructure, right? Yes. Oh, you know what? Man, it's been so long. I forgot that I can do this. What am I doing? I'm so rusty. That's all right. We will get this smoothed out and I'll get a better routine. It doesn't help that some of my mindset is going towards this fucking pain. But the pain that I'm in now isn't even comparable to the pain I was in when I was still living up there. And so this is just like, surgery pain. They sliced open my freaking neck and put a big old plate in and everything like that. That's all this pain is. I can deal with that. The other pain was debilitating pain. So we will get through this. But just in, Blackrock and Brevin Howard tokenized funds have launched on SEI network via KOI's institutional grade RWA. Bullish. This is definitely bullish for SEI. If you guys don't know what SEI is an EVM chain that is like, it's built for like institutional trading, and it's super fast, like 10,000 TPS or something like that. And it's like built to have trading algorithms or programs or whatever built on top of it. I did bring this up so people could see a little bit. SEI is a high-performance layer 1 blockchain designed specifically for trading, decentralized finance, high-frequency applications like NFTs, Web3 ecosystems. It combines the speed of Solana with Ethereum virtual machine capability or compatibility, enabling developers to build fast, scalable dApps while leveraging Cosmos SDK for interoperability. So it's actually leverages Cosmos SDK also, so which is good. And Cosmos being what, a layer 0 they call themselves, with the big old Cosmos net and everything like that. Key features: ultra high speed and scalability, achieves 400 millisecond block finality and over 200,000 transactions. Oh wow, 200,000. That's not what their website says. So this says 200,000 TPS. Pretty sure the website only says 10. Low fees and efficiency, EVM compatibility, and Cosmos-based architecture. So native token SEI. I do hold a bag of SEI. I've always held a bag of SEI. I do. When it moves, it freaking moves. So, bully for Blackrock. They are just, all their little tentacles. Their tentacles coming into everything we hold, every crypto. So, love it or hate it, it's the devil we invited in, right? All right. Next thing, breaking. Polymarket just landed $2 billion strategic investment from ICE, parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. And ICE is not the ICE everybody is talking about. ICE is the Intercontinental Exchange at NYC at a $9 billion post-money valuation. So, and then that led to Shane Copeland becoming the youngest self-made billionaire following the deal, right? Which is bullish. Everybody loves Polymarket, right? I keep saying Cardano needs its version of Atom, a CVM. I'm not real up to date, but I do agree that it needs some kind of Cardano virtual machine or EVM. I don't know exactly how they work together. Let's face it. But I do understand that it helps integration and everything like that, and seamless integration across places. So I agree. It does. The UTXO model makes it really hard. I know when we were developing some stuff, I keep looking up there because I'm reading the comments over there when I should be looking here at the camera. I know when we were developing some stuff, with Aaron and everything like that, and the UTXO model makes it really hard to integrate like cross-chain and stuff like that. That's why Bitcoin fits so seamlessly into it, because you got the EU UTXO and Cardano, you got the UTXO and Bitcoin. What all that means, I don't freaking know, but I know that's the case. So I do agree though that it needs something to help with the cross-chain capabilities. So let's see. All right. And on top of that, Polymarket is going to be now allowing users to directly deposit Bitcoin onto their site. So go ahead, give up that Bitcoin, bet your life away, use Polymarket. I don't condone it. I do like Polymarket though. I do like watching the statistics, and crazy thing is Polymarket is usually right. If we've seen anything in politics and the Fed decisions and stuff like that, Polymarket's usually right. So, because it is the will of the people putting their money where their belief is. And if you're willing to put that much money in there, then you got a good chance of being right. So, all right. So on to more Polymarket news. Or no, kind of Polymarket news, but mainly Metamask adds support for Hyperliquid swaps, ICE Polymarket integration. So, if they're going to integrate Bitcoin into Polymarket, Metamask is going to want to get their hands in there also. They want to get their hands in everything. Just in brief, though, Metamask users can trade derivatives using Hyperliquid's infrastructure. Self-custodial wallet plans to add support for Polymarket, and Metamask users can earn rewards, including Lina's native token. So there it is there. And do I have a story? There's a story about Lina's. But either way, Metamask getting full integration, adding liquidity for Hyperliquid swaps and everything like that. So boom. Oh, that's what I was thinking about, Lina's. So everybody talking about how XRP is going to change the banking system as we know. They're going to overtake Swift. They're going to integrate with Swift. Well, guess what? Swift integrated with Linus, the L2 on Ethereum. And any of you guys who have watched this channel before we went on hiatus, or knows me or been around while we've been streaming, I still stand by I think XRP is overhyped. Don't be coming and tagging me, but why would a bank use XRP as a medium for cross-border payments when the price can fluctuate or crash within minutes and seconds, right? When they can just use RLUSD and it's stable, So, so that if XRP is out of the equation for the actual medium of cross-border payments, now it's just a gas and a governance token. It's just powering the XPL. That's all it's doing. So to me, XRP is overhyped. Say what you want. That's just the way it is, in my opinion. Solana. So here it is. Quick Solana DeFi exchange, Jupe to launch native stablecoin. Solana DEX and DeFi protocol Jupiter is expanding its feature set with the launch of its own stablecoin, Jupe USD, on Solana. And here we go. Solana DEX aggregator Jupiter has tapped Athena. They spelled it wrong. To launch its own stablecoin, Jupe USD is expected to launch in Q4 and will initially be collateralized by USTB, Athena's short-term treasury-backed stablecoin. So the total stablecoin market has grown by more than 75% in the last year and now sits above 300 billion, which is crazy. Actually, let me go over here. Let's go here real quick. Let me bring up, I had a couple other bookmarks. And right here, look at that. Tether supply climbs to $178 billion. So that is crazy. It's highest level to date. So we are in the middle of bull run, even though it doesn't seem like it, when Tether supply climbs to 178. They print the stable coins, then the stable coins get used by the regular tokens, Ethereum, Bitcoin, all that stuff, and then it goes up. So Hyperliquid, here we go. A couple more stories. So IRS furloughs nearly half of its workers due to government shutdown. There we go. At least something good's coming out of the government shutdown, right? And here we are. So North Dakota wants to follow in Wyoming's tracks. North Dakota aims to issue a stablecoin for bank-to-bank transactions within the U.S. system following Wyoming. So now we are this will be a second state creating its own stablecoin. While granted, it still has to be a dollar. It cannot be the North Dakota dollar or the Wyoming dollar or whatever. You know what I mean? It can't be issued. A state cannot issue tender. So it can only issue gold, and it has to go with the Federal Reserve note. So it can't issue its own money. But if we start seeing multiple states doing this and bringing up their own stable coins, they can say it's for bank to bank. But with everything going on politically, it's like, what's to stop Wyoming, from saying, oh, well, now you can only pay your taxes with Wyoming stablecoin, or you can only get gas with Wyoming stablecoin, or this or that or the other. And you guys know, we all know that how Charles Hoskinson was so pissed off that they didn't pick Cardano to build on because they said there was no season freeze mechanism built into Cardano, which is good. Bully for us, bully for Cardano. But so if they want that season freeze, then that means they can and anticipate having to season freeze anything you have. So all right, that is the show for today. Let's check on Bitcoin. Let's go down here to the 15-minute. So it looks like we're down 0.25%. What we got here, though? What we got here? So we are bouncing off the 200 on the 15-minute. Are we producing a nice little flag here? See, you can probably get this two ways. That's kind of like a pennant. Is it like that though? Or is this just a fake out break and the actual pennant is like that? I don't know. But being a symmetrical triangle, it's got more of a chance of breaking down than breaking up. But the Stokes are oversold, which is nice. They're down, reset. RSI's turned up. So say we're using this pattern right here. Boom. Boom. I mean, it could break us up. It could break us up to 125.87. I would definitely be watching that, though. I would be right here. If you're looking for a long or a short on the 15-minute. Well, first of all, if we lose the 200, which is what this bottom trend line is following, if we lose the 200, we're definitely going down. And we're very likely, get all this data on here real quick. We're very likely coming down at least to the POC at 122.789, but we could even come down to one of these high volume nodes or down to the local bottom at 120.656. But if we break up, and look at that breakout, if we break out that target, that move 125.87 takes us right here to the tip of this breakout. A lot of action here. The high volume node would be right there at 125.279. So it is quite possible we could get some action overnight, which would be nice. We get a nice little breakout. But other than that, I am out of here. I need to get up and I need to move around. I can only stay seated like this for so long. So y'all have a great night. Remember, hit that like button, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Tell a friend, tell everybody. Crypto Nightly is back. John may not be here, but I do anticipate him at least popping in every now and again. The man's been working his ass off. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He needs to make some money. He's got some things that need to be done. So he has been working his ass off. So, but I'll be here. And I don't want to make any promises. We're just going to leave it like it is right now. I will be here. I do plan on doing the streams. So see y'all tomorrow night. Third Patriot, Desert. third Patriot, Crypto Kid, Crypto Jesus. Everybody, you all have a great night. And we out.